classes we learned about the water biochemistry and about the buffers, right? Water biochemistry and buffer. As we know, cell inside of the cell is basically a cytoplasm that is 70% water, and extracellular fluid is also consist of water, right? So here the maintenance of pH is important. Okay, so how does a physiological system does that? So we understood the basics about the water and how it maintains the buffer, right? So in physiology, so there are three type of buffers. So there is a protein buffer system. So there is carbonic acid buffer system, and then there is phosphate buffer system in our body. So you do not need to remember each of these, but you must understand either one function and you'll be easy to go. Okay, so the most common one is the carbonic acid buffer system. So why? Because for instance, we as a human being, right, so we take oxygen and we release carbon dioxide, right? So this carbon dioxide, right, so this particular process has very much role in the maintenance of the pH, right? So how does it do that? For example, if a cell is there and due to the respiration it forms the carbon dioxide and it takes the oxygen, right? So now this carbon dioxide needs to be removed from the system, otherwise it will make the system acidic. And how does it do that? So for example, our blood, right, our blood is basically 90% water, so we can write the chemical equation as H2O, and this carbon dioxide is getting formed in the cell, so we can write that as CO2. So now this water and carbon dioxide will form the carbonic acid, which is also known as H2CO3. So now this H2CO3 can dissociate into proton as well as the bicarbonic acid to maintain the pH. Okay, so for example, if our system gets acidic, okay, so this bicarbonic acid can merge with the proton and it can form the H2CO3, and in lungs it will dissociate into water and the carbon dioxide will get exhaled. Okay, and in system what will happen? So for example, there is a much formation of the OH negative ion, so the H2CO3 will dissociate into H plus and the bicarbonic acid and bicarbonate, and this H plus will go and bind with this OH negative, and there will be formation of water, and this is how this carbonic acid maintains the pH. I hope you understood, right? So this has a very important role in alkalosis and acidosis. Okay, and the reaction that we just talked about, so where the H2O and carbon dioxide is forming the H2CO3, which is getting dissociated into H plus and the HCO3 negative, right? So this reaction is the normal reaction, and this is governed by the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, and this is actually very important during your IT jam or GATB preparation, because directly question comes that which enzyme controls the acidosis or the alkalosis, or which enzyme has the formation for this H2CO3 or the H plus or the bicarbonate in the physiological buffer system, that you must know about. Okay, so in acidosis there is a formation of proton, right? So there is a much more formation of the proton by any cellular respiration or the metabolism, due to which what happens is this gets attached with the bicarbonate ion and there is a formation of H2CO3 in system. Okay, in system or in cell. Okay, so now this bicarbonate ion will travel to the lungs. Okay, and this will get dissociated into the water and the carbon dioxide, and this CO2 will be exhaled, due to which this H plus ion concentration will decrease, because as we see from the reaction, when H2O is getting combined with the carbon dioxide, so there is a formation of this H2CO3, which is getting dissociated into proton and the HCO3 negative ion, right? So now to minimize the formation of this proton, so there should be much more exhalation, so there is a less formation of this bicarbonate ion, and due to which there will be less formation of these two entities, right? So in alkalosis, in acidosis, what is happening? Much more formation of this proton ion due to the much more increase of the carbon dioxide, right? So now to prevent that, our body exhales so much, so we need to remove carbon dioxide from the system. So you must be understanding now what alkalosis will do. Alkalosis will have the same thing. Okay, in alkalosis, what happens is there is a much more formation of this OH negative ion, right? So now the H2CO3 is again going to dissociate into the proton as well as the bicarbonate ion in system. Now this H plus will go and form the water with by merging with this hydroxide ion. There will be formation of water, and due to which there will be a less formation of this H2CO3, because as you can see the reaction is going towards the OH negative ion, right? So now to compensate that, our body will require much more formation of the carbon dioxide ion, right? So there will be much more inhalation that is going to occur. There will be a much more inhalation. Okay, so in alkalosis what is happening? There is a formation, much more formation of this OH negative ion, right? Due to which there is a decrease in pH and there is a decrease in carbon dioxide entity or the H2CO3 entity. Now to compensate for it, our body inhales more to create more carbon dioxide. Okay, I hope you get it. If you did, so now I'm going to show you a very similar way that it might be asked during your exam. Okay, so the reaction might be like this. Okay, H plus HCO3 negative. In case of excess acid, the system first will go to the right side. Okay, and there will be much more formation of this H2CO3 negative, due to which there will be a H2O and the carbon dioxide formation, right? Now body will try to exhale, so this H2CO3 will go to the right side. Okay, and thus carbon dioxide will get released in case of acidosis. In case of alkalosis, reaction will be reversed. So H2O plus CO2 will merge to form H2CO3, and this will form the HCO3 negative plus H positive ion. Okay, so this you have to remember in case of acidosis and alkalosis. So what does this do in case of physiology, that we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Comment understood, so that I know that you have understood the concept. Thank you.